531 VI.
It is 29 minutes past 8 o'clock for Thursday, the 21st of August. I'm William Terite in the chair with you for just under half an hour. If you'd like to reach out to us, do so at any time. Pacific mornings at pmn.co.nz, on our Facebook page 531PI, or on the text machine 531. Joining me now is our Foreign Affairs Minister, Vaovasamanaia, Winston, and of course the leader of New Zealand First, to dissect the latest issues within his foreign affairs portfolio. Maloilele, thank you very much for your time, Minister.
Well, that's a very generous introduction about dissecting the issues, but let's go.
Let's go. Hey, look, I want to start with perhaps reflections on the Foreign Ministers' meeting in Fiji. Are you satisfied with the approach the Solomon Islands is taking when it comes to shutting out dialogue partners?
Well, not inviting dialogue partners, that's the nicest way to put it. That was a serious issue at the end of our one-day meeting. There was a long debate and a lot of countries took part in it. And no, they weren't happy with it at all because it was allowing, dare I say it, outsiders to tell us as hosts or as the appointed host under a set of rules what to do. And Pacific people won't like that, and nor did a lot of countries who expressed their views. And some countries we felt had the same view but hadn't expressed it. It was not an event or discussion which was not done with the most serious intent to correct this going into the future.
Look, we've heard in recent days Tuvalu's Prime Minister questioning whether to attend PIF next month. What do you think that suggests about the current state of the Pacific Islands Forum? Is it fractured from the outside looking in?
No, what's happened is that you recall the last time there was a serious contretemps between Micronesia and Polynesia about who would be the secretary of the forum. Now, that was an avoidable event, and it wasn't avoided, and there was a split for a while, and we've reconciled that. And here comes another one, which is also avoidable. And so our discussion was very serious in Fiji that this should never have happened, and let's make sure it doesn't happen again. But, let me just tell you, nothing in life is perfect, as you know.
Certainly.
And there are many circumstances where repatriation of angered minds and angry positions has to happen, and we're doing the best we can. And we've got very serious confidence that next year the quorum of the right number and the correct people to invite will happen without outside interference.
Has the Pacific Islands Forum become the United Nations 2.0 in the sense of more countries want to be involved and jump on the bandwagon?
I wouldn't say it that way. I think what is really more clear is that the Pacific Islands Forum now knows more acutely that they've got some serious work to do, and they've got to start doing it as fast as possible.
Certainly. Okay, look, I also heard at one point you were seated near the Cook Islands Foreign Minister. Did you manage to talk at all with the minister? Was it awkward?
Oh, he came over for a chat. Of course we did. And had a talk about it. This is a matter where we have senior officials working our way through it. Our position is very, very clear, that we have a special relationship, and that special relationship is not between me and them, or our government and their government, it's but between our peoples. And we've got DNA connections with it. So it's a big issue as far as we're concerned, and we do not want what an arrangement we had for the last 50 years, sometimes trammeled by people taking moves and measures which should not have happened, and I can recall all of those. But our job is to ensure that this connection is as strong as ever, but continues at the full license, authority and permission of the Cook Island people. Indeed. Not their temporary leaders, but the Cook Island people. That's the constitutional seriousness with which we approach this matter.
Indeed. Did the Cook Islands Foreign Minister at all bend or give any sense of apology, which I think is what's needed, frankly?
Look, he wasn't required at that place and that event.
Sure.
This would not have been the appropriate thing in any circumstance, and I would never have ever expected it. We just had a friendly chat about this conference going forward. But on the bigger issue that has been conducted by our senior officials, yes, we've got a lot of work to do. We're not gilding the lily. We're not trying to shrug aside how important this issue is. We know what our constitutional responsibilities are in the same ways that Helen Clark realised in 2001 when she was talking to Dr. Moate, the then Prime Minister of the Cook Islands, or dare I say Norman Kirk, back in the Kirk years, 74 to 75, 72 to 75, 1972 to 1975, when certain issues were happening there. And it happened under the Longy government as well. It's not always a perfect relationship. That's life.
Yeah.
Our job is to make sure we fix things up.
I'm not sure if you've seen a statement was released just back, turning our attention back to PIF, by the Chinese embassy in Tonga on recent misinformation concerning the Pacific Islands Forum leaders meeting. They've suggested that and rejected claims of their interference. What do you make of that?
Well, no one accused them of interference, so why did they name themselves
It's a good
via
point.
the ambassador?
Yes.
Sometimes you can be too clever by half.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
look,
no, no, no. Go back and look at that one-day proceedings and find out and ask yourself, whoever named China? No one did. But within seconds of me making a speech, he was putting that statement out. Sometimes you can be too clever by half, and I bet Foreign Minister Wong Yi regrets that.
yeah, certainly. And look, I mean, look, I just want to shift your attention just very quickly to the Council for International Development Conference, which you attended and spoke at. I just want to pick up on some points you raised in your speech. I mean, how can we make New Zealanders care more about the Pacific and its challenges? You would know more than anyone, frankly.
How can you make New Zealanders care more? Well, um, to be reasonable and fair, New Zealanders are extraordinarily generous people. When we used to run telethon, no other country could match us for the number of donations that would come in by that process. Telethons were being run in other countries in the world, Western countries, but New Zealand's record of beneficence or generosity was unparalleled, and it still is. But you just got these certain people who think all charity begins at home. The moment you talk about spending any money offshore in a critical area of investment in our own interests, they shout out, but why aren't you spending on local hospital? Why aren't you spending on local schools, on our teachers and on this and everything else? They would have us pull the carpet up round our head, close ourselves off from the rest of the world, and then tell us we're going to be successful economically and socially doing that. So when you see that sort of thing on social media, for goodness sake, the people who are concerned about our proper engagement with our front door, the blue continent, make a stand. Don't let them get away with it. We need to make these investments in our relationship because it critically will influence our economic and security future.
With fewer people connected to the Pacific, how do we close that gap? And what do I mean by that is NGOs talk about donor fatigue. I suppose what can the government do to reinvigorate that public interest in Pacific development?
Well, these are tough economic times.
Sure.
The world's forecast for the world's economy, the economy going forward, is at about 2.2, 2.4 for the current year, next year, whereas it was 3.1 was how they were going pre-COVID. So there's been a serious drop off in economic activity. That'll have its effect even down to the donor world. And you say there's donor fatigue. Well, it's not so much donor fatigue, they just haven't got the money. However, that means that we should redouble our efforts, and that's what New Zealand is doing, and my office is doing. We see a chance, even despite this sort of desert we're in, nevertheless, to establish an oasis of generosity from other countries being engaged who've never been asked before. And that's why it's critical we carry on with our job.
Yes. Before we wrap it up, I just want to pick up on that point of just how tough it is economically at the moment. You're a senior cabinet minister. What do you make? Are we moving fast enough when it comes to economic growth in this country?
Well, anybody that said yes would not understand the situation we're in. Of course, nothing is satisfactory when your aspiration for such better outcomes. But we have to turn it around. It's taken longer than some predicted. And they should have known. I can recall very well the campaign in 2023. It's just 2 years ago. So many politicians were saying, well, vote for me and I can fix it. But we weren't. New Zealand First wasn't. We were saying this is far worse than you think. And take a grip of this. You'll need some hard-headed decision making when you get there. Our difficulty has been that New Zealanders were, how shall I say, duped into thinking that this could be fixed up very quickly, and that's not the case.
Sure. Look, New Zealand First in the polls, sitting comfortably at the moment. Cushy, I'd argue. Is it tough being, aligned with National at the moment when their track record has been questioned? As you highlighted at the last election, Christopher Luxon was hell-bent on saying he would fix the economy. Where is it?
There's a marvellous quote I could give you to describe that, but I can't afford to say it on this program.
Go on.
No, I can't. Look, but sometimes in collaboration, nothing is as perfect as some would like it. Because if it was, then there wouldn't be different collaborators. They'd all be the same movement, they'd all be the same party. We've got different views and we're standing up to ours. I mean, our New Zealand First is our party. It's a seriously nationalistic party. We believe in our country, not last, but first. That's what's in our name. But some are globalists, some have got different views, some are neoliberal experimentalists. We're not. We're plain, connected, grounded nationalists, and we intend to press on, and our polls are going to rise, and they'll rise inexorably coming to the next election. Ask your listeners and viewers what they think of that. Look at the polls. That's what's happening now.
Yeah. Well, look, I couldn't agree more. I fully concede that. That is our Foreign Affairs Minister, Winston Peters. Thank you very much for your time as always. We genuinely appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
You're listening to Pacific Mornings on